If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others.
Grab your popcorn and sit back.
Jump the gun. Oh, no, give me more than that. Okay, go this way. That was dumb. We are.
How could I tell you when nobody wants to? Your favorite words I will show.
Happy Monday to everyone in the sports universe. It is September the 11th, interesting, 2023. For Aaron Crouch in Las Vegas, Nevada, I am Michael Carvelis in Savannah-ish, Georgia. This is the AM Drive, and we are live. Aaron, how was your sports weekend, and how are you remembering 9/11?
It was a great sports weekend. We had some great football games. We had some big time matchups. Obviously, the NFL is just awesome.
Right.
Week one is back. It's always nice to. This is always the hype part of the season. Sometimes I feel like my morale for the NFL drags down as the season wears on, but for right now, it's week one. It's funny you mentioned 9/11, and obviously we have a football game in New York tonight on 9/11. I don't think that's a coincidence, my family has strong ties to 9/11. I got an uncle who was a first responder down to the scene. He fortunately survived a lot of what went down over there. So 9/11 still, I've seen a lot of, I don't want to say memorabilia from it because that's not the right word, but like a lot of debris. My uncle kept a few things knowing that this would be such a massive
historical
incident in our country's history. And I've seen rubble from the wreckage and shrapnel and a used fire hose. I know none of that's really like that amazing, but it's just things that 9/11 has a place in our family's history. So it's kind of one of those, we have cops and we have firefighters in the family, so it's kind of a big deal in our house. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's kind of a big deal in our family. So it's one of those instances that just doesn't go unnoticed in our family. Let's say that.
It's interesting that you mentioned the schedule for the NFL, because I was thinking to myself during this weekend, like around middle of Sunday's games, the NFL was so smart with their scheduling. Like Thursday night, they give you the defending champs against a Lions team that's got a lot of good fans, but it finally feel like they're off the schneid here. Sunday, you got all these great matchups. And then Monday night, you end, like you said, in New York on 9/11. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and the Buffalo Bills to see if they still got some firepower. And I don't know who does the schedules, but they're pretty stinking impressive.
Yeah, and the night before we got another. I don't know how they're going to flip. They are, but they're going to flip MetLife from Giants to Jets overnight, basically. So that's pretty dang impressive. For the crew, give that crew a raise. Whoever flips MetLife each week.
Nice golf clap, baby.
To do that in 24 hours would be great.
MikeandAaronDrive.com for the best in our merchandise, like Aaron's sporting. Of course, you got phone cases, the hoodie that he's wearing, mugs that I never fill up, but I'm gonna get one soon, hopefully. Tumbler City, baby, and also awesome jerseys like this Colts Andrew Luck jersey. And don't worry, there's a reason I'm wearing this today. Just bear with me.
Oh, boy.
Best and worst of the weekend. As always, I'm excited to hear your worst of the weekend.
Oh, I just had it. My worst of the weekend is the Pittsburgh Steelers. For an entire offseason, you have been hyped up. Everything has been coming up Tomlin. If they can do this, they'll be king of the North. Myself, I drank the Kool-Aid a little bit here. I have a season win bet on them on the over. I'm not obviously ripping up that ticket just yet, but I didn't expect them to win this game. But to be as uncompetitive as they were really surprised me, and I'm sure it surprised a lot of people. They were the biggest talk of Teaserville, with a lot of their, moving their 2.5. Just such an uninspired performance at home. This was in Levi's Stadium. I could understand, going out to the West Coast, but I really don't have any excuses for Pittsburgh the way they showed up, offense and defense in this game, week 1.
I was reading on Twitter that there was like some beef on the sidelines with the Steelers, as there always is since last year, of course. And one of the things was like, oh, Mitchell Trubisky came over and settled everyone down. And so I said on Twitter, Kenny Piss finally saved the day off the field. Somebody could have done that on the field, but no, just to pile on to the Steelers there.
It's true.
My worst of the weekend is going to go to, what did I have? Oh, yeah. So I'm a Colts fan. It's incredible. I'm watching a game. I'm fully invested in the Colts game for obvious reasons. And then Colts give up a lead. They're down by 10 with just over 2 minutes left. Anthony Richardson, who has been pretty stinking good after Shane Steichen did a pretty good game plan, had kind of fallen off in the fourth quarter. Long story short, after getting a fourth down conversion with his legs on an incredible second effort, he then tries to go for a touchdown on the ground. And Andre Cisco, who had already had a penalty early in the game for unnecessary roughness for head-to-head pretty much, but it's not targeting, but it was close. He then, as 3 guys are bringing down Richardson, he comes in and finishes him off with rings his bell. And guess who finishes the game? Gardner Minshew, who goes 0 for 2. I know Colts probably would have lost being down 10 in that spot still, but what a way to ruin a magical moment as Vontaze Burfict 2.0 slides in there and drops his shoulder. I just don't know how a safety continually gets away with that stuff until like Vontaze Burfict, he's kicked out of the league. I know, of course, Burfict was a linebacker. I don't see how you keep allowing guys to do that over and over and over again. Cisco's one of those guys.
I didn't see the play. I did see him walking off
gingerly,
with the injury. So I can't really comment on what happened. But I really would have liked them to punch that in the end zone and lose by 3. I really would have.
Well, yeah, that too. But I mean, just like the fact that you can't even have a chance to come back because other guys like to hurt people. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna guess that it's not as bad as you're trying. I mean, you're looking at it through a different lens. So
I saw Cisco last year do stuff like this as well. So it's not like a first time offender for me. But go ahead. Where's your best?
So my best of the weekend was actually going to be the 9/11 concept that they wrapped this weekend around.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of talked about it in the beginning. So I'm going to go in a different direction, and I think it's Texas beating Alabama. What I would say was actually pretty handedly, like pretty comfortably and easily. Like Alabama never really seemed like they were in the game. I know they took the lead at one point, but it just seemed like Texas, like they were not going to lose this game. And Sarkisian knows the odds are stacked against him. But this Alabama team, to me, they got some growing to do. Like I think Jalen Milroe is just an average quarterback. He
reminds me of Hurts when he started.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that this guy can't be talented by the end of the year,
right?
And they don't have talent on their team, but they don't have currently that NFL type talent right now. And I'm starting to wonder if the NIL is going to severely balance out college football, maybe for the good, which is crazy to think. But I saw a lot of matchups this weekend. Texas Tech holding their own with Oregon. Never should have happened. But I saw a lot of the talent discrepancy in college football maybe start to even out a little bit. So as much as I'm not loving NIL and basically college free agency, it might actually be good for the sport.
I like that. I'm surprised you didn't go with the state of Texas because you kind of had the little low-hanging fruit there. Like that would have been a good Cowboys 40-0 and Texas walks into Bama, but okay.
Well, I mean the Cowboys for all intents and purposes played the perfect game. And I know we're going to talk about that obviously in the second segment, but it doesn't do anything for me personally. Like, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm not a Cowboy. I mean, I did bet the money line just so I could have a little sweat when I watch something. I put $10 on Dallas money line. I mean, obviously that paid, I think it was paid $7 or $8. So it wasn't anything like massive, but it was by all accounts, it may have been the perfect defensive game I've ever seen.
Fair enough. My best of the weekend is in tennis, and it was originally just Coco Gauff, who, even trailing after marching to the finals, Coco Gauff, the newest black superstar women's tennis player from the U.S., next Serena, like a baby Serena right now, shows up, comes back, and wins her match in 3 sets. And then Novak Djokovic at the same U.S. Open wins his 24th Grand Slam title. I did not watch any of it. I just think it's very awesome that tennis, in a world with football and baseball and basketball and everything going on, tennis still has awesome superstars that if you tune in, they're pretty fun to watch. Unfortunately, tennis is not a sport that we care for, but I thought it was really cool that tennis got their superstars to have those awesome performances. Shout out to Novak Djokovic, who I guess is better than Federer at this point, although I love Federer for a long time. And also shout out to young phenom Coco Gauff. Her first major title.
Yeah, she had some, I don't want to say choke jobs, but she had some expectations going into this where she hadn't lived up to them yet. But I mean, the girl's 18, 19 years old.
Yeah,
let's pump the brakes. I mean, in 6 years, we might be talking about, like you said, like one of the best to do it here in this spot. But I actually did catch a little bit of Coco's match. The parts where she was actually playing well, I didn't catch. She was already down a set.
Right.
When I was finally tuning into that a little bit, but I'd just like to shout out an honorable mention. Best of the weekend is you for subscribing to NFL Premium or NFL Plus Premium,
right,
and getting access to the Red Zone network.
Red Zone's nice.
I can't watch it on TV, but I hadn't had Red Zone for like 3 or 4 years. I had forgotten how awesome it is.
It's gotten better though.
It seemed the same to me. It seemed like they were flipping a lot faster, but
yeah.
To be able to watch sprinkles of every one of those games makes Monday's shows a lot easier as well. Because when you're watching, just local, obviously you can't get into all the games, and when you're trying to watch Sunday Ticket, which I thought about buying, you can't. Why are you paying all that money? Probably gonna end up watching Red Zone anyway,
or watching Stream East. Wait, what? What is that? I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about the illegal stuff, but shout out to you for subscribing to NFL Plus Premium. Have to throw some money your way for that, because that can't be all taken care of by you.
I was gonna say shout out to you for renewing the link tree a month ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Hey, well, I didn't. It's MikeandAaronDrive.com. Okay. Plug. Texas cruised past Alabama. It was Aaron's best of the weekend, although I still think it should have been the state of Texas, but it's okay.
I'm surprised you're pumping up Dallas as much as Daniel Jones.
Trust me, we're not done with that yet. I still think the state of Texas has got their fan base earned a lot of respect this week from their two teams. And I did say, of course, I've said Bama's going to lose a couple times on the show, but I did feel pretty confident, even though it was in Bama. Quinn Ewers, if he stayed healthy, Texas was going to walk in and beat him. And that pick six, after Texas had cut it close, then not the pick six, they dropped it back to the 5-yard line, then immediately punched it in afterwards. I was like, boy, this is incredible. I mean, that was a huge game, even though it's only week 2-ish. Incredible game. I thought Texas, their defense is what's been surprised me the most the last 2 years with Sarkisian, not just the offense. Their defense is really good.
Yeah, and it was a gritty game, too. I mean, they were, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were down 16. I think they were down 3 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 16-13.
Yeah, and they just put a barrage on them in the fourth. And if this wasn't at Bryant-Denny, I wouldn't be as impressed.
Right.
By this win. I know what happened last year, the winning by the skin of their teeth, getting out of there with a game-winning field goal. But are you ready to say Texas is back? I mean, they moved up to 4 from number 11. or are we just overhyping this Alabama team right now because they're an SEC? I mean,
I have our top fives on Wednesdays. I'll reserve my thoughts, but just know, yes, that's all I'll say.
the SEC has only, correct me if I'm wrong, only has 2 teams in the top 25.
Georgia's not even that impressive yet.
Well, they're getting their feet wet with this new quarterback. They have 4 teams. I'm sorry, they have Ole Miss and Tennessee as well.
Ole Miss screwed me. Oh yeah, Ole Miss screwed me, by the way.
Not me.
Anyway, App State, like you told us in the text, but go ahead.
So the crazy thing is that I just, at the end of the year, this might sound stupid because they're still probably a superior conference, but they just to me the whole SEC as a whole doesn't strike me as very, very strong this year. And again, I know we talked about the NIL and how that might flatten the curve of everything, but I'm curious to see how good everybody's going to be this year with the Pac-12, 8 teams in the top 25 right now.
Yeah, that's not bad. Is Colorado? They're in the Big 12 now, right?
No, Colorado currently is in the Pac-12. They will move to the Big 12.
Oh, is that a segue then? We're going to segue to that?
Yeah, I guess.
Woo! That's not the graphic, but that is one of the graphics. Colorado wins again. And they talk some trash afterwards. I don't like the fact they're doing this. I don't like they're coming in with the game with Michael Strahan suits. I feel like they're getting very cocky very early. And I know Coach Prime. Well, what is his name again?
Coach Prime.
Whoa, that's the one thing we're going to do on the show today. I found it interesting that they're doing a lot of talking in the media pregame, postgame. I know that like Shedeur Sanders, his big thing was Matt Rule disrespected them with their on-field thing to start. But it's like, they got to shut up sometimes. I feel like Colorado is going to become one of those very polarizing love-hate teams as they already were with Coach Prime anyways. But I'm sorry they haven't they've beaten teams they shouldn't, but then again, it's like, did you really beat teams you shouldn't have if you have like 58 new guys on the team? I don't know. I still am pushing back a little bit on that. I am interested to see how this goes forward because I'm telling you, they're walking a fine line with talking, man. They're doing a lot of talking from every angle, and it's kind of rubbing me the wrong way. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, this one's a tough one because I think in some aspects you're right. I mean, after everything that they've gone through, in Colorado, it's like, well, okay, this isn't the team that went 1-11 last year, like not even by a smidge. Anybody on that team still left over from last year is not a starter. Let's be honest. But I'm in the belief that, if you're going to talk trash, you got to back it up. And so far they are. I think they're going to walk in and beat Colorado State next week, at home. That's not going to be a problem. I mean, this is going to be a 3-0 team going up against, then they got at Oregon and then home against USC. Like, those are going to be the tests. But USC, they don't play defense
at all.
Oregon has shown they're a little suspect maybe after, they're maybe a little vulnerable this week. Like, I don't think Colorado's going to get through these. But if Colorado starts the season 5-0, I mean, they could dance all they want at that point.
And that's fine. Right. I agree with that.
After the first game, embarrassing the reporter, I thought was a little beneath Dion. He just doesn't, I don't know, because he's not doing anything really in my mind that like some other coaches won't do. Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. He's not doing anything, and there's a large contingent of America that I think is slowly starting to like kind of get pissed off like you are. Like, come on, guys. It's 2 weeks into a season. You're a team full of 4- and 5-star transfers. Like, all we were worried about was chemistry. Exactly. My question really right now is, I mean, they have to run the gauntlet. They got Oregon, USC, UCLA, Oregon State, Washington State, and Utah left on their schedule. Like, they have 6 of the 8 ranked Pac-12 teams. Like,
Utah is the scariest one of that list.
I mean, I think USC is. I mean, let's.
I would take Colorado's defense, but we'll get to that. But go ahead.
Colorado's defense. That's the question I had really, because we wondered, how this game would be impacted because Colorado played such a trash game on defense the first week, but then they responded.
Yep.
The question is, now, like I said, against Colorado State next week, like Colorado State's not going to put up a fight. They're going to kill them. I don't know what the opening line is, but I think it's going to be a bloodbath.
46. I don't even know.
It could be. I'm going to try to check that real quick here.
Is it on the road? It might be like 36 to be respectful.
It's in Boulder, and even if it was on the road, Colorado State's not that far away. But for me, it's just I don't know what to make of it because it's like I don't love what you're the things you're saying. I don't love we don't need to start talking trash. We've won 2 games, but at the same time, it's there are a lot of people out there who didn't believe in them, myself included, and I still don't know what to make of them. Are they a bowl team? I think they're going to be. But do I think they're Pac-12 champion, Colorado Buffaloes? No, I still don't think that's the case. So I don't know where I sit in the middle of this. So really, I'm just going to remain quiet over the whole thing. I don't love the smack talk, but I'm not mad that they're doing it because they've kind of earned it a little bit.
I will say this one last thing on this subject. And I kind of came to a realization this kind of before this week started. They're really good for college football right now. They're bringing a lot of attention. And I know it's not bold to say, but it's a big deal what Coach Prime has done. Where you see what he said about the number 1? He said, "You're just getting everybody the number 1 jersey now." He said, "When I was a kid, everybody who's over 38 in here, they should know that you had to earn that number 1." He told me guys are just gonna get the number 1 jersey, which I thought was incredible. I love that.
Yeah, they are opening up as 23-point favorites against Colorado State, who lost their first game 50-24 against Washington State. Washington State.
Wow.
Washington State's ranked. They're number 20.
I like my chances.
Yeah, I think Colorado's. I think they're going to kill them, but at the same time, this feels like the one where it's they're going to kill them, and they win the game by 10, and all the detractors can be like, "See, I told you," and it's like, no, I don't know. I don't know what to make of them just yet. I just, it's one of those spots where I'm like, you can't be too high, you can't be too low. They're not a bad team,
right?
But I don't think they're Pac-12 contenders.
Are these guys? I mean, Caleb Williams, 19-21. They played not much people either. Have you heard a lot from USC, in press conferences? Because I haven't. They're just kind of doing their job so far.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that vibe. I mean, they haven't really, like you said, they haven't really played anybody, so to speak. So for them to start, pounding their chest would just be unnecessary. But they're 3-0. They've beaten their teams. They've scored 56, 66, and 56. And their defense, minus that first week, has actually played very well. Now, has that translate over to some teams with a pulse? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, good God, on my AM Drive 5 bet of Stanford plus 18 in the first half, they were down by 46 after 2 quarters. So I really thought Stanford's up tempo would keep pace with that, but woof, I was wrong.
Oh wow. Hey, it's college football's got a lot of stuff going on right now. I gotta love it.
Still the Heisman frontrunner, Caleb Williams.
That was the main thing there. Okay, MikeandAaronDrive.com. When we come back, I've got some answering to do. I mean, I could have made Old Takes Exposed this week with how I was going at the Jaguars, but Aaron's got some thoughts on the games as well, I'm sure. It's AM Drive. We're talking NFL next. Don't go anywhere. It's Overreaction Monday. Happy 9/11. I'm not good at this. It wouldn't be happy 9/11, would it? It would just be like remembering 9/11.
Yeah, I would never say happy 9/11.
I'm sorry, that was my bad.
Did you say happy 9/11?
I did.
I kind of zoned out as we were going to commercial there, but
I did.
Yeah, let's remember our fallen citizens and first responders. Maybe a 5 seconds of silence right here might not be a bad thing.
Let's do it. That one meant a lot to you.
Welcome back here to the AM Drive on this Overreaction Monday. Used to be formerly 90-minute Mondays.
I miss those.
I don't. Those were such a grind of going over every game. But I think our Mondays might go a little more extended than the 45 minutes we usually budget. But we're not going to put a time cap on them because I don't have to go to work today.
Hey.
But welcome back. Presented by Agrodime. You see it right there in the corner. You want the best meats delivered directly to your door. Then you got to go see our friends at Agrodime. MikeandAaronDrive.com. Click the link. When you shop, go to checkout. Promo code AMDrive for 10% off of your order. Again, the finest meats. It's smoking season. You know, the weather's about to change a little bit. Get your smokers out. And tell the friends at Agrodime that the boys at AM Drive sent you.
Amen, sir. As I get to this segment here, NFL rookie quarterback reactions, I'm going to start off with Anthony Richardson. I'm going to tell you why. You're wondering, why is Mike wearing an Andrew Luck jersey at a time like this? Because I said on Twitter, no, whoa, un momento, sir. Wait for it.
I hope he gets stuck in it.
Because it's a new era of Colts football. That's why. Hold on. Yes, it is a new era of Colts football. Long ago are the days of the demonic residue that Andrew Luck left. And I've never been one to criticize Andrew Luck, but in reality, in hindsight, Andrew Luck did not help our team at all. And I mean, of course, you know, however you feel about that, that's fine. But for the first time in quite some time, maybe even since the Peyton Manning era, Colts Home Stadium actually felt good. On like watching from the TV, and Colts Home Stadium, there was some faith in that building, you could tell. When we went up 21-17, there was some electricity in that building. The royal blue rain is here. I was very impressed. I know we lost the game by 10 points. That's fine. Andre Cisco, whatever, dude. I'm so happy that you got your game winning. You got your game-winning tackle there. Fantastic for you, sir. But I just want to say I was very impressed. I thought we were going to have a decent year. I thought we played a lot better, even though I had us winning. Just the way it felt, it looked way different from the Frank Reich era. And again, Frank Reich was dealt a bad hand. I understand that. But from the past Philip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz years, this felt a lot smoother. The defense was a lot more like firepower. It helps having Shaq Leonard back. I thought Colts looked good. As for the rookie quarterback, he stunk it up in the fourth quarter, not going to lie, until he tried to make it close late. And then, of course, what happened. But for the most 3.5 quarters, I thought Richardson was very polished, and that started off with Steichen, giving him the easy passes to start off the game. Fantastic game plan. I was excited.
So when it comes to the rookie quarterbacks,
right,
I agree with you. I thought Anthony Richardson played a good game, as good as to be expected against, you know, the division champs, your first time out. We talked about the stat of David Carr being the only rookie to win a football game in his first NFL start in the last 30 years. He was none of them played great. I thought Anthony Richardson took advantage of a couple of bonehead moves by the Jaguars. I feel like there was a situation where Jaguars walked into this game. A lot of their players thought, we'll just walk in and beat them. It's not a big deal. This isn't a team that
it's serious.
You know, has a pulse to them.
Right.
But I think they put the league on notice in a sense that you're not just going to walk into Indy and we're not going to walk into your building and just roll over and die. Now, do I think they're a good team? No, I still don't think they're a good team. I had them at 6-11 this year.
It feels good.
I feel like that's going to be right where they are. I think Anthony Richardson's going to steal games that these other quarterbacks that have played for the Colts the last 7 seasons can't. I like his raw talent.
And that's always been a thing. I agree.
He needs to find a way to translate that, reel in some of the. He didn't really make any bad throws to me, to be honest with you.
Interception was kind of gross, but I think what's like to get to your point with like he didn't make any bad throws. It was interesting the way Steichen, like, because the footwork had been a concern for some Colts fans, and to start off, a screen pass, shallow cross, it was like very easy stuff where you could just sit there, square up, and throw it. I think that helped him settle down.
Yeah, I mean he's going to get better. I think. One thing I noticed, and maybe I don't know. I mean, I've already have a slight bias. You know my feelings on Anthony Richardson. I don't think he's a very good quarterback.
I don't either right now.
That can always change. One of the things I noticed is he's not as fast as I thought he was.
Yeah, that was weird. It's like he couldn't. I feel like he could break away that more so in college, and I didn't really see that yet in this game.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe that's just something like was he dealing with something that we didn't know about. But to me, I watched him in college, and and again, college and pros are different animal. I mean, you get the best of the best college players are playing in the pros, but to me, it just didn't seem like that speed was there. So I'm curious.
Knee bruise in the second quarter, just to let you know.
That could have been what it was. So I'll chalk it up to some kind of injury rather than just saying he's not as fast as I thought he was.
And they still, he's going to be questionable. They're going to do that all week just to fool with people. But
the whole NFL is going to be questionable this week. So.
That's right. But no, he was tackled weird and like knee didn't bend or anything. It was just like he came out limping a little bit, and people didn't think he should have been limping.
You watched this whole game, right? Pretty much.
I watched almost every snap, I believe.
There's a question for you.
What?
Would Jonathan Taylor made a difference in this game?
No, and I tweeted at him to make sure he knew that. Because listen, here's the thing. Deion Jackson, the stats say 2 fumbles. He actually had 3. Like, they did not count the one early in the first quarter. Like, he fell back on top of the football. But like, I know he lost 1. He had 2 recorded, and I swear to God he had a 3rd one. But I thought because Evan Hull made 1 carry the entire game. It was in the 3rd quarter. Had a 12-yard scamper in the 3rd quarter. Gets hurt. Goes to the locker room for the rest of the game. Jake Funk, who was literally put to practice squad after waivers, then elevated from the practice squad to the game before the game even started, although he probably knew he was going to play anyways. I think he had like 2 carries in the game. After Deion Jackson's fumble issues, I think Evan Hull, the rookie, kind of would have helped. And I'm like, we were so close to winning this game. Jonathan Taylor probably would be the difference, but I don't think Jonathan Taylor would have moved the needle to like, we have to pay this guy right now. I think all it showed was he helped. If we pay him, we're going to get there, but we don't need to pay him $16 million. That's for dang sure.
Overreaction Monday time here on the AM Drive.
Yes.
Do you feel like after you watch this game, the Jaguars are the best team in the South? Still, I guess.
Yes, because I'll say I had a tweet that said the Titans have no quarterback. Like, I mean, I know it was the Saints defense in New Orleans, but that was horrible by Ryan Tannehill.
Not a great game. You're right.
CJ Stroud, they have no offensive line. I feel sorry for him because I thought CJ's played all right. And then the Jaguars probably are the best team, but that's just by default because, I mean, everybody's got a rookie pretty much and a guy who's trying to be replaced 2 times over. So, yes, they are the best team by default.
That's fair. Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley was great.
Yeah.
He was good.
I mean, it's good for T-Law that he's got 3, in my opinion, 3 good receivers. I mean, Zay Jones is probably a forgotten man, but
Christian Kirk was too.
Travis Etienne out of the backfield. They got the weapons, man. And Evan Ingram, he hasn't had the greatest career that he'd probably like to have, but he's no slouch either. So, that's a good one. I mean, I don't know what to make of this because I think a lot of people didn't expect the Colts to be in this, so they're down a little bit on the Jags. But like you said. What did I say?
You said on Friday we both said on Friday what's going to happen.
Well, I don't remember what I said. I don't remember what happened.
We both said Jaguars were going to kind of be closer than people thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I don't think the Jaguars in the league concept is that good of a team. Obviously, they look good in this division, but Yeah, I thought that the Colts would get that cover. I really did.
CJ Stroud, speaking of the Texans, same division here. I just felt bad for his offensive line because, and Tank Dell is still small and is still a rookie, although Josh Downs I thought he played well in the first half for the Colts. But anyways, Tank Dell was not as existent as I thought it would be. Damian Pierce was kind of shut down, which shows the offensive line is really bad. And Ravens kind of kept the Texans at arm's length, but Ravens didn't blow this open like I thought they would, but Texans still looked not very good. I didn't know what to make of this game besides CJ Stroud looks pretty okay.
Yeah, I mean, I thought all the rookie quarterbacks looked okay to decent. I mean, Bryce Young I thought looked the worst, but this one was tough because I feel like I keep falling into the same trap. Like, I need to know the Ravens, when they play inferior opponents, whether it's at home or on the road, they just play enough to win. They don't blow these teams out. And I don't know if that's a product of saying we don't need to get anybody hurt. LOL.
Good.
But we don't need to, unleash the whole playbook against the Texans because we can beat them, by 16 points and it's totally fine. Things like that. But yeah, I think the Texans really just couldn't get anything going here all day. I don't know what to make of it because you're right. If you don't have an offensive line, especially the Texans, that's kind of an MO for them. When they do have good offensive linemen, they just trade them away. I don't know what to make. You really can't grade C.J. Stroud on this. He was playing at one of the best defenses in the league. It's his first start. It's on the road. Nothing was set up for him to do well. So for him to have 250 passing yards, I guess that's the plus I'll take away from it. I know there's a lot of it is in time where he has to throw the football. So I'll give him the edge to say, when they know you're throwing the football and you can still throw for 250 yards, not bad.
Kareem Hunt might be on the market for the Ravens now. I know Colts have kind of flirted with them guy as well. J.K. Dobbins, I made a tweet, and it was kind of a joke, but it was very true. It's like he's Derrick Rose without an MVP. Like, J.K. Dobbins is so stinking talented. One of those Ohio State running backs who are very underrated. And every time you think he's going to make the stride, he was finally healthy after being questionable in camp. He tears his Achilles. That's rough. I wonder, I think Kareem Hunt, we've said on the show before, I believe Kareem Hunt is kind of fresh right now. He's got to be, if he's staying in shape, he's got to be fresh, right?
Yeah, I don't see why he's not in shape. I think he knows he's going to get picked up by somebody.
Right.
The question is for me I know Gus Williams is coming off an ACL as well. You have Justice Hill. You have Lamar Jackson. Like, as a Lamar Jackson fantasy owner, I really hope they don't sign anybody. As a Ravens Super Bowl backer, I still don't know if they need Kareem Hunt. I just don't know.
That offense, I feel like, could have used a J.K. Dobbins healthy in the second half, though.
Well, they could have used a Lamar Jackson healthy in the second half, too.
Lamar, I feel like the new offense, maybe they have to get accustomed to it. Maybe, like you said, they are playing the injury bug here because obviously one of them got hurt. But offense wasn't very impressive. One of the week one overreactions for me was that Lamar Jackson, hope he doesn't struggle this year.
I think he will. I think he will struggle this year in spots where he's forced to throw the football. And I know, shocker. But I feel like this offense is going to force him to throw more. So those who think he's not a true passer are going to either be vindicated or severely shown up in this season. I hope they don't really force that issue in certain spots. Like, if you're playing the Bengals on a Thursday night game or a Sunday night football, or you're playing the Chiefs, I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, but if you're playing the big boys, and Lamar's arm's just not working right, you've got to figure out a way. Just adapt and win the game, like, in spots.
Ravens are at Cincinnati this next week, by the way.
Well, there you go. I think that's going to be a big one right off the jump. I mean, to be able to put your theoretical biggest rival, I know Cleveland, calm down, but to be able to put your biggest rival down 0-2 to start the season, that would be a big boost for Baltimore for sure.
Maybe they were waiting for next week. Who knows? Bryce Young, like you said, didn't look the greatest of the rookie quarterbacks. Although, to be fair, in the first half, all three of these guys looked a lot better than they did in the second half. Like, despite the defense that was being played all day, I feel like Bryce Young had a good first half. The second half kind of unraveled against the Falcons defense, which I said is not bad. Bijan got out-carried attempts by Tyler Algier, who I warned fantasy owners could be a thing. Of course, Bijan did have 2 touchdowns, by the way, which is good for him. Desmond Ridder, I know I'm going to talk about Bryce Young here, but Desmond Ridder, talk about not like doing just enough. 15 of 18 for 115 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. That's insane. That's going to be their MO all year?
Potentially. I mean, sometimes sometimes, yeah, I know.
That's bad.
Sometimes just getting enough done. Like, sometimes you don't have to win football games with 400-yard passing games, which is funny to me because there wasn't, I mean, other than Tua was such an outlier. There wasn't a lot of guys throwing, there wasn't a lot of big numbers.
Agreed.
So, for a passing league, it was insane to see the
Mahomes looks
numbers.
pretty good right now.
Huh?
Mahomes looks pretty good right now.
I will say this. I watched Bryce Young's first career pass, and I don't know. It was incredible. Like, the accuracy, the zip, everything looked fantastic. And I was like, whoa. And, yeah, then there wasn't too much else to be home about.
And
By the way,
threw his ball into the stands.
Did you know? I didn't know that. His first touchdown or his only touchdown?
Yeah.
Do you know who C.J. Stroud completed his first pass to?
Himself. I wonder if that has to be a record.
Brett Favre did it. His
Really?
first career pass. Yeah, I learned that yesterday as well.
Wow. Not
Brett
by
Favre,
design, of course.
Well, you can't complete the pass to yourself unless it gets deflected.
I used to do it in my backyard all the time, so I want to hear that.
Yeah, but I don't think they recorded that as an official stat.
Andy Reid won't even do that.
Yeah, I mean, 3 turnovers in the game. For the Falcons, I think it's a sell low situation next week, or sell high. Excuse me. I think it's a sell high situation next week. I don't think they are.
The Saints are the best.
Yeah, I think the Saints are
After
just
week 1.
Yeah, I think if we're overreacting, I don't think the Falcons are that good of a team.
Michael Thomas really helped. I mean, Chris Olave had 8 catches, 112 yards. Michael Thomas looked pretty decent in his return. Oh my gosh, I think Saints are gonna. I feel sorry for the Falcons. I thought like we said, week 1 overreaction. I feel like the Falcons are a lot closer down to the Saints than I thought Falcons could have been.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dolphins, fins up, baby, fins up, Aaron, fins up.
I won't.
Come on, I told people Dolphins would win a shootout, and it was 36-34. Tua Tagovailoa. Bless your soul, sir. Now, this 2 fumbles is rough. But 466 passing yards, 200 of that, I believe, was a Tyreek Hill. Wow. Chargers have no defense, as I predicted. That's pretty much what I take away from this game. Although Tua, if healthy, is going to be really good. No, really, just saying.
Are you going to be this insufferable all NFL season?
This was a good week for me.
I get that, but just eat your slice of humble pie. Your record will show itself over time.
We haven't done the Sunday Night Football game. Trust me, I'm fine right now.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't predict that one, did you?
No.
Yeah, this was a shootout exactly like you planned. It was everything we wanted from the game of the week. I think that probably nobody watched.
Right.
That's the unfortunate part, is because they were just the West Coast, the late game. You had some other games that were more interesting, in my opinion. I thought the Eagles-Patriots game was more interesting. Doesn't make this game not good. I just saying, the shootout's insane. Tyreek Hill predicted this offseason he was going to get 2,000 yards. Well, that was a good first step.
I'm okay if he retires in 2 years. I promise you. You want to play video games? You're fine if you're doing this.
Yeah, he gets this done. He could be at 2K by week 10. He does it like this.
On pace, yeah, I know.
It's funny, when I was predicting the schedule, the thing you sent me, the playoffpredictions.com, I had the Dolphins going 13-4 this year. So they play like this, I don't see anybody beating them.
I mean, we got to see the Bills and the Jets tonight, but yeah, we'll get to that too.
I'm just saying, you're right. I mean, we still need to see the Monday night game, but if the Dolphins can put up 36 points a game, they're not losing very many.
True. It's like the Chiefs and the Rams in 2019 until the Rams got to the Super Bowl. 2020.
It was like 55, 53 or something like that.
Yeah, and then they went to the Super Bowl and scored 3. Interesting. Browns defeat the Bengals 24-3. Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, hold on, wait. Aaron, are these stats real? Don't tell me. They're not real, are they? They are!
They are.
Someone said the NFL's rigged because Joe Burrow had 82 passing yards.
Well, I think it's rigged for other reasons, not for
right.
this. But I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals have shown themselves out of the gate for the last 3 years, particularly because Joe Burrow hasn't had a camp in 3 years. This was just, between the pouring rain and everything, just, coming up, Cleveland Super Bowl here. I'm no disrespect to Cleveland. They put the hurt on them. I mean, it was an absolute just barn burner of a game. But if we're in overreaction Monday, this is one I'm not going to quite overreact to just yet. They go down 0-2 with Baltimore, they could be in some serious problems. I know the stats show obviously that teams 0-2 make the playoffs a very limited percentage of the time, and you add the fact that you have the AFC North into that equation. It'd be really tough sledding for the Bengals to be 0-2 to start the season. But 0-2 with 2 division games too, 2 division losses. That
would be tough toenails.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, Cleveland to me didn't play that great on the other side. I just think they took advantage of just Cincinnati playing absolutely atrocious football yesterday.
Barry from Twitter said Deshaun Watson now sucks at playing quarterback in addition to being a sexual predator. What a complete waste of a human. Put Dorian Thompson-Robinson in a quarterback.
It's funny to say that like DTR might be a poor man's Deshaun Watson, but I think Deshaun Watson's a poor man's Deshaun Watson right now. Does he have to play lights out for this team to win? I mean,
not.
Weren't they like 7-10 last year, or 6-11, something like that?
7-10, I think sounds good. Yeah.
Like with Jacoby Brissett, they were 7-10, and actually,
Jacoby was a game manager.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Deshaun played poorly last year, which led to a lot of their losses. So if he just plays above average to above average this year,
which he's capable of doing.
Sure. I mean, I think this is average. I mean, look at that stat line.
Better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, of course. 155 yards, a pass touchdown, a rushing touchdown. I mean, he had almost 200 total yards. Maybe cut the fumble out, but I mean, like a 65.9 QBR. That's out of 100, right? I mean, yes. That's above average.
The football, like the fumble from Bryce Young earlier and this fumble, were not lost. They fumbled and they got it back.
Okay, well, the point is that like if he plays like this, I mean, it might not win some games against the big boys, but if he plays well enough, I mean, their defense is okay, and Nick Chubb can be the guy.
And Browns are good enough to finish 3rd or 4th in the AFC North. Not bad.
Well, based on what we saw in week 1, if I'm overreacting, they're good enough to finish 2nd.
Oh, all right. Well, this team definitely. 49ers defeat Matt Canada's offensive Steelers 30-7. I know 49ers are a good defensive team. I know that Brock Purdy had a do enough game with that offense, but I mean, come on, dude.
You see the stats right there, 220 and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's not good enough. He was almost perfect.
A lot of fans in the Steelers camp were not happy with the way their defense played.
Defense didn't play well. They were put in bad positions by the offense. The offense.
That's what I'm saying. Not. I don't know what else. Brock Purdy doesn't have to do a lot, like we've said before. That's what I'm saying. 91.3 QBR. Like, what does he have? That's. I could do that. Shoot, the way that looked. Come on.
I mean, that's the thing. This is exactly the stat line I was saying that either needs to come from Brock Purdy or Sam Darnold. That, like, for whatever reason, Trey Lance couldn't do. So
and Kenny Pickett. Well, good Lord, they are buyer's remorse yet or not yet?
Nah, I mean they got beat by the Super Bowl co-favorites. So
that's a fair point.
This was just a game. I don't even know if you can take anything from it. Like the defense, got smacked in the mouth. I understand that. I mean, giving up a 65-yard run to Christian McCaffrey just can't happen.
And he was good though.
Yeah, he was good. I paid a lot of money for him in the auction fantasy league. So,
I'm surprised that Christian McCaffrey. He does more running now in San Francisco than he did. Like, he doesn't do a lot of pass catching anymore. That was surprising.
Did he still catch like 6 balls? I
think he had like 3 catches. I thought.
I
can check. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. 3 catches. Wow. I think maybe the game plan just dictated for it. I mean, they got up early and they got up often.
Right. That's fair.
I mean, the game plan will dictate. The game plan he'll go wherever the game plan needs him to go. I mean, he's going to say he can't catch passes or he's not going to catch passes this year is he's still going to catch 60 balls this year at minimum. Yeah, I mean, if you're the 49ers, I think you can't get too hyped off of this one. I mean, you have to be a little happy that, after everything that happened this offseason between Purdy, between Lance, this was a team I actually thought about fading. I ultimately didn't because of so much offseason hoopla going on.
Right. Like the Jets thing, yeah.
Yeah, the who?
Like the Jets thing I was talking about on Friday's show. It's like,
well, yeah, and the Jets. We'll talk about that, with the Monday preview here. But this is exactly, obviously losing a fumble is not what you want to do, but like this is exactly the stat line you want to see from whoever plays quarterback. Couple 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Let McCaffrey and that offensive line be your guide. And Brandon Ayuk, out of nowhere, he might finally turn the page, which is funny because they gave Debo all that money.
Did you see the butt recover fumble that Brock Purdy did?
I did, yeah. They challenged it too.
Because they were like, "There's no way he got that back." He was like, I was like, "Who does?
He just planted himself right on it."
And it was over T.J. Watt too. I was like, "Wow, that could have hurt him." But yeah,
T.J. Watt 3 sacks and a fumble recovery as well too. So let's not forget about that guy. I think, like I said, if we're overreacting, I'm going to not overreact to either team. I think the 49ers are obviously a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers just didn't show up. And I think
ultimately they're going to be concerned.
They're going to be fine in their division. I'm not sweating it too much just yet. You just got to throw this one out.
Right. I did not I did not put Daniel Jones' stats here for on purpose. It was just because
there are none.
Right, fair. I had to add this late because I forgot to add to the first part. Cowboys 40-0. Dan Quinn's. I mean, if there's a way for the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl, it's this way. But I will caution Cowboys supporters by saying this right here, as a person who picked the Cowboys to represent the NFC. What is it with the Giants playing the Cowboys? I have Daniel Jones, for as much praise as I give him, I will never say he's had a good game against the Cowboys. I don't care how bad your offensive line is. Ian, who's been on the show before, I've had beef with on Twitter before, who I know in real life, said, you pay this man $40 million, offensive line sometimes cannot be your only excuse. I understand it's tough. He's allergic to the Cowboys. I don't know what it is.
No, it's a problem because you played them twice and you just lost your home field edge in this game too.
Right.
It's not too often where a quarterback throws for 143 yards and he's the leading passer in the game. Usually the other guy on the other side, especially the other guy who's down 40-0. You talk about overreaction. I mean, of course, the Cowboys fans, Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're already ready. Right? And they can beat their chest. Absolutely. This was a hell of a game, but a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown aren't going to happen every week. Like, blocked field goals don't happen every week. Like, you can't rest on the fact that you think this all going to happen. I mean, I think they need to find a way. To me, it just felt like the offense wasn't that good. I don't know, question mark here, but I mean, they were the benefit of a lot of early fields or short fields. Mm-hmm. This isn't to take anything away from them. I mean, to beat a team 40-0, that's not nothing.
It was a team game, though.
It was a complete team game. If this is the way that the Dallas Cowboys will play, like they're going to get opportunistic advantages from their defense. Yeah, you're right. I don't see anybody stopping them, and I think they're NFC East champs for sure. I mean, after what I saw with Philly.
And for the majority of this game, I will say Daniel Jones outrushed Saquon Barkley until Saquon, guess what, had an 18-yard run. Who knew? Another garbage time run to make him have better stats. That's incredible. Congrats to Saquon on another Saquon Barkley game. I will say it again.
I mean, the funny thing is, you know, after everything that happened last season, I know they acquired Darren Waller, but it's like you look at that receiving room and it's like, this is what you had. This was your problem last year. You talked about how Daniel Jones couldn't get any help because he had no receivers, and then you did absolutely almost nothing. I mean, I know you drafted
Paris Campbell's healthy, and it didn't mean anything.
It didn't. You're right. I mean, he had one catch?
Yep.
I mean, do you just throw the book out on this? I mean, is there anything to be taken from the Giants?
I think what's to be taken is that Cowboys offense, I agree with you, was not as good as 40-0 would say it was. It's just, but Cowboys defense could carry this team to the Super Bowl 100%.
Yeah, Cowboys defense is good. Opportunistic for sure.
Dan Quinn's going to get a head coaching job.
The thing I didn't learn is what I'm going to need to learn is in those games that are close, the ones that Tony Romo just couldn't really win, can Dak Prescott do it?
I didn't see enough throws from him to figure that out.
No, and it's one game. And like I said, you know, you really, by the time, you know, you really kind of blinked and got in your seat, it was already, 16-0. So, I mean, they kind of were able to, you know, control the rest of this game. I mean, getting the defensive touchdown, getting the special teams touchdown, stuff like that helps. And not only that, I mean, it puts the Giants, you know, morally defeated. It puts the Giants week 1 at halftime were getting booed by the crowd.
If the Giants didn't get the pick six early, if the Giants didn't throw the pick six early, if Daniel Jones, then I'll say, do you think the Giants keep that game closer because the momentum is not completely shifted yet? It has to be a thing, right?
The fact that it was the pouring down rain and Cowboys were able to have their way with it was really kind of telling to me. Like the Giants really just couldn't get anything done, and for all the money they spent on their offensive line, I think their first round pick was an offensive lineman. I mean, it was Olay. It was Matador season. I mean, he got sacked, 8 times?
7 times, yeah.
7 times in the game. And I posted on social media. I said, I think the Giants' offensive line is protesting Daniel Jones' new contract.
Good one.
I thought that was pretty good.
I agree. No, AM Drive 5. We did good. You went 3-2. I went 5-0. I went 4-1. We're getting there. I went 4-1. You went 3-2. Good week for us. How'd your brother teaser and your other teaser do?
The brother teaser came in, but not without some damn sweat. It was Utah to win the game. They were down 13-3 going into
yes,
the middle of the third. They needed 2 late touchdown runs to win the game by 7. Not covering the regular spread, but we don't care about that. We got the cover of just winning the game outright. And then Washington, the Commanders had to come back and beat Arizona. That was a shocking result to me. I did think it was going to be close, but I didn't think that Arizona would ever really be leading in this game.
I'm just there. You better be glad that Josh Dobbs was named the starting quarterback and not. I mean, Clayton Tune could have made some magic in that game.
I think when they decided to start, Josh Dobbs told me that they were outright tanking.
And this game shows it. We're leading, but we have Josh Dobbs at quarterback, so joke's on you.
Yeah. Oh crap! We can't get Caleb Williams if we win this game. So,
did you see what his father said? That has to be a topic on the show one day.
That he's considering maybe coming back with the NIL money
because he doesn't want to play with BS franchises. Yeah.
So I can understand that.
I don't
think he's the one to set that trend simply because he made $3 million this year in NIL money. And I think the first overall pick, the guarantee per year is 12.
Ha! Jokes on Caleb's father. Good. Caleb doesn't say anything, to be fair.
I'm not saying that there's not going to be a time where a guy does this. I think you could argue maybe if Andrew Luck did it or not. I don't know. I don't know who had the first pick the year he could have come out, but I think there will eventually be somebody who's making in the $5 to $6 million range. Again, I know it's 12, but they might just say look, I'll stick it out with my 6, be the big man on campus, and then we'll see what happens next year when I have to come out. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going to be him. It would surprise me if he was the one who did that, but I think that will eventually happen down the line.
Sad. When we come back, we're talking Monday Night Football and also Mel Tucker. That's a great contract. We'll be right back.
All right, last segment of this Monday, Overreaction Monday here to the Week 1 season and, of course, college football. We are presented by Shankit Golf. See him right there in the corner. ShankitGolf.com, promo code AMDrive for 15% off your order. Get you looking the best on the golf course, even if you're playing at your worst. ShankitGolf.com, when you when you shop with them and use the promo code AMDrive for 15% off, that makes the boys at AM Drive #Shankful.
Yes. Good. Shank you, shank everybody, shank you for whatever. Okay. Speaking of the devil,
Oof.
This is bad. Aaron, I don't want to do this to Michigan State, but there are two things I don't like about this. Number one, Mel Tucker got a big contract. And people were questioning it as a football standpoint. Number two, please don't tell me this is the same school that employed Larry Nassar. I'm not saying the two are related. This cannot look good for them.
Yeah.
Wasn't this Larry Nassar's school?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, my. I'm surprised they haven't officially fired him. What's your thoughts on this ugly situation?
So I've read a little bit about this. I'm not going to go into any opinions, just simply stating the facts, what I've read. I've read that he has allegedly sexually harassed a rape victim.
Wow.
I've also heard that this was a consensual conversation between two adults where allegedly a phone sex conversation got out of hand. I've read that the woman that he has been talking to, I guess, dropped the N-word on him. And he had some not so nice things to say in response to that, which, if that's true, I understand. And when he had some not so nice things to respond to her, she has decided to go this route. Again, I don't know quite what's true. The investigation will run its course. Yes, I think Michigan State has had buyer's remorse on the Mel Tucker contract since that. I think it was like a Rose Bowl appearance. I mean, it looked great. I think it was a year 1 or year 2. I think it looked great. Michigan State's not traditionally a team that makes a presence in football, Big Ten football. I mean, every once in a while they pop up. I think they've fallen way behind their big brother. They've fallen way behind in the Pac-10 or the Big Ten.
Might as well be the Pac-10. Go ahead.
But if this investigation turns out that he sexually harassed somebody who was unwilling, he's got to be fired. It's such a bad look on Michigan State. I don't know what comes back from this. But I'm not ready to just throw Mel Tucker under the bus because, again, everything I've read on every side, everybody, does the shoot first, ask questions later. I'm going to ask the questions first, and then I'll load the gun. We'll see. Oh, wait, that's bad because there wasn't a shooting at Michigan State not too long ago. I think there was a shooting there. That was bad. I'll ask questions later, and then I'll make my decision.
Figure of speech.
I just got canceled.
I won't say anything about it besides the football aspect. You're right. Michigan State's been behind the needle for forever, and then this right here doesn't help that. Why not, even if, I'm not saying they would do this, but why not just use this as something to, I guess, fire him? If there was smoke there, if you thought he did do enough wrong, start over, start fresh. I mean, it can't hurt anything.
Well, because they'd be on the hook for $77 million.
Oh, that's a thing. Wow.
when you sign coaches to bad contracts and then they do stupid things, allegedly,
Right.
and you have to fire them, you still owe them the money.
It's almost like you want a guy with a proven track record before you give them 77. I don't know. I mean, it's just business. I don't know.
I think he was like a 10-year, $90 million. I don't remember what the contract was.
And who did he coach at before? Exactly.
The thing is like, the crazy thing is like Michigan State fan. I hate this. Michigan State fans want him to be guilty because they want him gone, and that's just.
And that's what I was saying. That's a fine line to walk.
Yeah, I mean, you're not rooting for him or against him because of his actual coaching abilities, which again aren't that great either so far. But to just hope a man's guilty of sexual assault because you don't like his coaching performance, that's ugly. That's really ugly.
Football fans suck sometimes. Who knew?
They suck most times. But.
Yeah. Monday Night Football on ESPN. They don't have a jingle. Bills. I think that's the worst one. Like it's decent, but it's like
the only one I remember.
Amazon's not bad. Amazon's pretty mad.
Is that Sunday
CBS has the best one. Oh, I think that might be Amazon. CBS has the best one. Dun, 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 dun,
oh.
Dun.
Yeah, was that the one? I think that was the one I was just singing. Anyways,
he tried.
What's Fox? I don't know. I watch Red Zone now. I'm a Red Zone guy. I don't even remember.
No, I saw nowhere. Oh, I forget. We'll be all right. Bills Jets. Right. That's yeah. My mom, who doesn't watch football, like before I get off this tangent, was like, I think CBS sounds more like a movie, but Fox sounds more like a football game, which I agree. That's why I like the CBS one more. It's just so dun 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 dun. I was like, oh, Star Wars or something like that.
It's very cinematic, yeah.
Right. All right, Bills Jets. I think -2 is kind of laughable. I think Bills are going to get them pretty good, especially if the Jets have no offensive line. We're learning that Sean McDermott will blitz a lot this year. Me Bills by 20. Just come on.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't think it's by 20, but I think it's a spot where I think the Bills come out. I mean, we almost see not a complete repeat of last night, but we almost see a handling of a New York team.
If Bills and Cowboys fans have back-to-back nights, we're in trouble.
If the entire state of New York is just, well, the entire metropolitan city of New York, the Jets and Giants fans are going to be in a rut for a week.
They're going to watch from bridges, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of the situation. Like I said, there was so much off the field issues, the Hard Knocks thing with the Jets right now. I'm not ready for them to say they're going to win this game against the Bills. To say that they're, they're the talk in the AFC. I know that Miami put on a show, but the winner of this game will be the talk of the AFC East for right now. And for me, I'm going to take the Bills as well. I think this game is 27-20 ish kind of range.
I dig it. Take us home. I mean, I don't get enough else to add to that.
Yeah. All right. MikeandAaronDrive.com. Make sure you hit the shop, the sponsors, the socials, and the YouTube for subscribing.
60.
Of course, 60. We're at 60 subscribers now. Woohoo! Enjoy the game tonight. Don't forget, always remember 9/11. Take the time to, visit with your loved ones because you never know when tragedies like that can occur and, things are taken away from you that you never expected. So for Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying enjoy your Monday, gamble responsibly if you bet on the game tonight. And of course, as always,
go Colts, drive safe.
Ugh, they're going to be insufferable this season.